Hello, everyone. It's Woda again. I've had some people ask me to kind of do a tour, kind of a walk around of Google Classroom. So I thought I'd take an opportunity to do that real quick. So the first step, obviously, to getting to Google Classroom is finding it. So a couple of different ways to do that. I like to just either bookmark it, which is one way. You just save it in your bookmarks up here, the link. Or you can type in classroom.google.com, and that's another way to get it up here in the what's called the Omni box. But today, what we'll do is we'll just head over to the Waffle because we're already on the Google page, and we'll scroll down through here until we find. Did I already miss it? We're looking for Google Classroom, and there it is. So we'll click on that, and here we are. So you'll see once you get in there, you'll see a list of all the classes that you're either a teacher, student, or a co-teacher of. What we're going to do is play around here with kind of the playground one, which I highly recommend everybody go ahead and set up just kind of you can call it a sandbox or a playground or just something to play around with, just to kind of get used to the features of Google Classroom without having to worry about whether you're going to mess something up on something that you're actually going to be using. Once you become comfortable with Google Classroom, certainly go ahead and start making your classrooms. But now that I have the classroom all set up here, we'll take a look around. One of the habits that I have, the way that I kind of learn about techie stuff is I just start poking around and looking. So the first thing you see is we've got this kind of menu up here. This is the teacher view, obviously. We have a stream, we have a classroom or classwork, people, and grades. So we see that. Also, we have a gear over here that's going to indicate any kind of settings or stuff that we might look at later. We got the name of the class code, a place for you to generate a Google Meet link. We'll do that in another video. You can change the theme. You can upload photos, incoming work. This would be assignments that you should expect to be having turned in soon. Also, here's a little box here, and you'll notice share something with your class. And when you click on that, that turns into a link. So if you click that, there's some features there that you can make assignments or not assignments, but kind of announcements and stuff. A little recycle, reuse, post button. Highly recommend you kind of hover over some of these things, and it'll tell you what they do. So let's take a tour real quick of kind of the menu up here first. We've looked at the stream. Everything that is posted, whether it be classwork, assignments, announcements, whatever, are going to show up here in chronological order. Most recent items would be at the top. So if you're going to create an announcement, you can decide which classes that you want to send that announcement to. So this is the playground, which is the class that we're in right now. But if I wanted this to be a universal announcement, maybe let everybody know I'm going to be absent tomorrow. So you would click all of the classes, right, that you would want to see that, and then that will post it everywhere. So you don't have to go to each individual classroom to post those things. The next thing, students. So right now I don't have any students in this classroom, but if I had students here, every one of them individually would be listed here. So you can choose whether you want all the students in this class to see it or just specific students. Maybe it's just students who, are going on the field trip Thursday or something, and you want to send them a notice that will only show up in their timeline about, what they're supposed to do as far as making up your work or whatever. So there's that. So you can change the themes. That this automatically chose this nautical theme for some reason, but you can click on that and dig through here and find different different themes. Maybe you're a science class or something and you want a science type vibe. There you go. You can update that theme and it'll change it. You can also upload custom photos, but that's all that. So this is the stream. Also with those announcements, by the way, you can add things. And what you'll notice, especially when you're doing assignments and stuff, this is all laid out pretty much the same. You're going to have the ability to go to multiple classes. You're going to have the ability to select individual students. You've got a spot to type in. And then you've got these 4 options for attaching different types of links, files, media, that kind of stuff. So we'll go over to classwork. This is where if you're going to create an assignment or a test or a quiz or something like that, this is where you want to go. Stream is basically just for announcements. Classwork is going to be for your assignments. And you're going to see at the top here, we have a Google Meet link. This is going to be to the Classroom Meet, Google Meet Classroom. The same, so everyone's in the same video chat. Google Classroom will automatically create your Class A Google Calendar, and that'll show up in all of your students' Google calendars. This is where due dates and all those types of things will live. You can always open up that calendar and type in any other event that might be going on that students need to know about. But that's your Classroom Google Calendar, and that's a link to that. And also Google Classroom creates a class drive folder as well. So you have a shared folder that everybody can have access to. So as far as creating some sort of classwork, you obviously the blue create button, there's a plus and it stands out there. You have some options. You can create a new assignment, a new quiz assignment. You can pose a question to the class. You can just add materials, or you can reuse an assignment that you've used either in another class or in this class. Or you can create a new topic, and we'll dig into that in another video. But I wanted to show you that's kind of where all that happens. But we'll do all those things in a different video. This is just kind of a walk around tour kind of thing. People, this is going to be your roster. So you have teachers and co-teachers up here. That button's going to help you invite people to that. This is where you're going to either invite students or you can send them to the code to get into the classroom. That code is also available in the main stream here. You can see that. And when you click on that, you can display that to your class on the projector if you have one, and they can just type in that code to get in the class. So that's the people tab. Not much there other than that. When you do have students here, you're going to have some check boxes and some things you can do. You can remove students. You can select students to send a email to. That's going to send, like if you select a random, like a list of students that you need to contact, that's going to BCC them, which means they're not going to be able to see who else is on the email. But you can send them messages via email really easily through the people tab. Over to grades. This is your grade book. There's nothing in here because I don't have anything, but this is where it's going to keep track of your grades and the grades that students have individually. So you can do that. All right. So we've dug through those menu options. Let's check out the settings button, which is one of my favorite buttons to push on any new thing. Let's figure out what cool things this can do. When you set up your class, you created the class name, but you can change that here. You can add an optional description, a section, room number, subject. Those last four there are all optional. This is the only one that's required. But if you teach Algebra 2 and you have 3 periods of that, you might want to create like a section called first period, second period, third period, something like that. So there's that. Super easy. Next, under the general tab, this is going to be the class code. That's the thing that's displayed on that header up there. You can copy that, reset it, disable it. So if you're done, you don't want anybody else in there, you can disable it. Or if you want to change it for some reason, you can do that too. This is the permissions under stream. This is permissions that will be available to the class. So if you want students to be able to post in the stream, just like you can, dig that again, just like that, right? If you want students to be able to do that, then you would indicate that here. If you only want them to be able to comment, or only you, the teacher, can post and comment, you can choose that there. Also, the classwork stream. How do you want this to be displayed to the students? Do you want it to show the attachments and details? Do you want it to be condensed? Do you want it to hide notifications? Show deleted items, guardian summaries. This is kind of cool. Under the people tab, when you have students in there, if you have the parent's email address, you can add the parent's email address into that, and then they will get summaries of what is due, what work has been completed, what is late, that kind of stuff, and they'll get those once a week. So that's kind of cool. Google Meet, this is where you would generate that link for everybody. And I wanted to spend just a second in here looking at grading. Google has some options here. There's no overall grade for the course. The course is just based on total point values or weighted by category. And I wanted to click that here so that we can take a look at this. So this is where you would type in maybe your bell work is worth 10% of the grade, right? And your tests, maybe your mid-term and final, say they're 20%. You just keep adding these as you go. Quizzes, maybe. Quizzes are worth 30%, and we'll add, I don't know, daily work is the rest. Oops. That'll be 40%. So it keeps track of kind of what's at zero. So now what's going to happen is when you create those assignments, you'll have to choose what type of an assignment it is, and then it will automatically provide the scores, the final scores to the students based on the weights that you've put in there. So that's kind of cool. All right, so that's kind of an overview of Google Classroom. If you have any questions, you can always get a hold of me, wodajr at collins-cc.edu. Also available on Google Chat and all that stuff. So hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you later. Bye.